my friends. I'm so happy to see you all. I'm looking forward to meeting in person those that we haven't met yet. And I'm gonna start from, I'm zooming out, okay, for a second. The reality in Israel since October 7. I'm not gonna give you the reviews of all the, all our speakers, but still, as a human being, as a mother, as a grandmother, as a daughter, as a sister, we're still in a tension of a war from every possible frontier. So we're functioning like crazy on the ground, all of us, whether, people are volunteering or soldiers that were drafted to the army and ran into, the war, and the families, and everybody is trying to help as much as we can, but it caught us, all of us, in Israel, unprepared. And it's almost, I don't know why you say 5 weeks and I'm already counting 6 weeks, but I lost time, really lost track of the time. And what happened over here the day after the war started is that, first of all, we realized how the government as a heavy body was unable to function, how the municipalities and the regions and the communities were in a chaos, whether they were evacuated or they were hosting people from the south, from the Gaza envelope. They were not able to function and to realize, and still they find it very difficult. And with that, the needs of everyone is changing every day. So, and on top of that, every morning we get, a request or an email from a new organization or amuta or foundation or initiative of a group of people to raise money for this thing or that thing, this community or that shelter. So there's so much information out there, and there is so many needs out there that to map them has become a huge task for itself. So what stands, for where is the advantage of the Jewish National Fund on the ground? First of all, the day it started, we realized we need to sit in one room, as many people from us, from the team in Israel on the ground, and to map all the needs, what's going on out there, so that we know, how to function and how to respond. So that was the first, I would say, advantage of being able to sit together. And the second one was the fact, or is the fact, that we have long-term relations with all the regional councils and the communities and the towns in the south, in the Negev, in the Gaza envelope, in the central Negev, in the Arava Valley, in the Upper Galilee and Western Galilee, in the Lower Galilee. So we were able to continue the conversations that we started, for other purposes, right? Expanding the communities, doing the infrastructure, agriculture, water, but we already have the connection, the trust, the relations, the conversation, the contact people that we knew whom to contact, what to ask, and what to get, what information to get. So that is something that we should not take for granted, and I'm emphasizing it because I understand your role in, sitting with a person or a group of people explaining why are we so efficient, the Jewish National Fund. So first of all, the relations, the understanding, the trust, the knowing whom to contact, how to get the information, and how to map the needs of everyone. Then, because we are not the government, and because we're flexible, and because we're a very tiny team and we don't have to process it through 10,000 committees and people and approvals and everything, that we were able to respond very quickly and very efficient. So every morning we're sitting like from 7 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Israel time, gathering all the needs. And I'm telling you, every day I get a different request from the same municipality of Sderot, from Ofakim, from Eshkol region, and they are spread all over Israel. So they have 7 communities that I'm working with. From the Arava, because it's changing. They get different needs. They get responses from other organizations or anyone else, and they're changing every day. So every day we have to review it, to filter it, to clean it, to prepare it in a spreadsheet, and by 3 o'clock to sit with Russell and Mitch and to review all the requests and decide whether to confirm them or not. And if they're approved, that very day, you understand what I'm saying? We're a public organization, and it's unlike any other organization. That day, I'm already sending a response to the community, let's say to Central Arava, approving what they've asked and showing them that the money has already been transferred by Mitch to their account. So from 8 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, Israel time, this is the time that they sent the request and they got yes or no. Sometimes it's a no, right? Because we have to filter it and we have to decide how do we work. What is the criteria? First of all, respond to those communities and affiliates and partners that we work all year long, okay? Because if I'll tell you, it's like crazy what we're getting here on the ground, okay? Even from the army, we're getting requests for shelters, which is unbelievable. So the fact that we're able to get the request in the morning and to be able to respond by the evening is like unbelievable. And that's why when you hear from everyone how grateful they are, how JNF is efficient, how JNF is responsive, that's because we're able to respond. So what have we been doing? First of all, the first 2 weeks were, to try and help the evacuees to move from the Gaza envelope, to move from the communities that are, in the war zone or close to the war zone to other communities. That was a huge task. Don't think that Israel, somebody in the Ministry of Interior Affairs or anyone knew how to send the buses and where to send them to and what hotels or what communities. We were able to match, the communities to other absorbing areas. Just to give you a few numbers, Mitzpeh, Arad has 3,000 people, absorbed 2,000 people. Yerucham has 2,000 people, absorbed 600 people. Arava, Central Arava, has 4,500 people, they've absorbed 2,000 people. Okay, so the numbers, the communities have doubled themselves. And within 2 weeks, we had to shift from helping the evacuees to move from their communities to help the hosting communities to answer the needs of all of these people that they all of a sudden absorbed. Food, water, mattresses, blankets, pillows, psychological therapy, toys for the kids, laptops, even every angle of life that you think people left without a suitcase. They were not even prepared to leave. They left under, the attacks of the Hamas from Gaza. Every little thing that you can think of, they had to get the help. The municipalities, Ramat HaNegev, Yerucham, they didn't get the budget from the government. There was no one in the government to answer their needs. And the only organization that they could literally pick up the phone or send a short email telling us, Tali, we need hot meals. We need books for the kids. We need space to run a kindergarten, a temporary kindergarten, was the Jewish National Fund. And within a day, they got the budget that they needed in order to operate it. So that was the evacuees. I'm sorry, Rick, 2 more minutes. I know we're short on time. That was the evacuees and the absorbing communities. Then there's all the way from Chalutza, through the Gaza envelope, through the Arava, all the way to the north, security needs. So Rick already mentioned, in the briefing at 12 o'clock your time, that we supported 200 bomb shelters, out of which I think 30 to 40 are in the south, and they're vary in terms of the size and the budget that they need. It's unbelievable. And almost 180 in the north. Guys, the state of Israel, take the map of Israel, fold it to 3. The 2/3 that you have in the north and in the south is empty. People ran away, even if they were not evacuated by the government. They just ran away because they feel unsafe. And these people who were left over there, especially in the north, they don't have these shelters. Almost 200 shelters. We built a mutual fund with the government of Israel to support the security needs of the, of the Upper Galilee and the Eastern Galilee and the Western Galilee of $5 million within a day, out of which JNF put a budget of $1.5 million. So that's only the shelters. Then all the security teams, the first response security teams of all the communities all over Israel, okay? We're not supporting the center of Israel, but they need helmets and vests, and they need flashlights, and they need radios, and they need generators, and they need a security vehicle. I cannot even imagine. So millions of dollars were directed, were first of all reviewed carefully so that we are touching only those equipment and things that we can touch, and the money was sent immediately. Then medical equipment. When you absorb 2,000 people, you need medical kits, you need equipment for the doctors, you need. We sponsored that. We sponsored the trauma room in Adi Negev. Adi Negev is a hospital in Gaza envelope, near Ofakim, that can absorb soldiers and the civilians and take care of them. Special needs. I get calls every day from Tirana Tia in special in uniform, from Gailey from Lotem, from Eva from Red Mountain Therapeutic Site. They not only do they have their normal needs and more than that, now they have to give services to all the evacuees with the special needs. Gailey has increased the number or the percentage of the people that they take care of, Lotem, by hundreds of percents. They're almost with 5,000 people a week, okay? So a budget for that, for their activities. Green Horizon came and said, we're opening a branch in the Dead Sea, we're opening a branch in Eilat, we're opening a branch in Ramat HaNegev, we're going to serve 7,500 young kids who were moved from their areas and they need activities. And to remind you, there are no schools yet. Even in the center of Israel, there are areas that there's no school. So forget about the evacuees and all the people that moved all over Israel. So Green Horizon got a budget. Makom to support elderly people. You think all the people from Sderot ran away? The older people were left. They said, we're gonna die over here. We cannot even walk down the stairs. Who helps them? Makom helps them. Makom needs more budget. HaShomer HaChadash came and said food security. First, let's help the farmers. Second of all, Israel needs some food on our table. All the buses of the volunteers, hundreds of thousands of volunteers all over Israel, and JNF is sponsoring it. Ammunition Hill opened the site for respite activities for the evacuees. JNF is sponsoring it. Even the Forum for Hostages and Missing Families approached us and said, please, can you help us? And we did send them that day 1 million shekels. So it goes on and on and on and on. And where is the criteria? First of all, we're helping the communities and the organizations that we've been working with. We're exploring and reviewing carefully every request that we have on the table. We're very efficient. When you speak to your donors and you describe what we're doing, we're very, very efficient, very quick, very oiled. We know the people. We get the reports afterwards. We have a full picture of what is happening on the ground. And this is just for now. We know that there's a lot of work to be done, when the war will be over. But we're looking forward, God willing, the day after is gonna come soon, and we will be able to deal with the next step. Sorry if I spoke too long.
You spoke great, Tali.